Hello, testing. All right. Hello. Um, this is different. My name is Megan, and this is Knollwood Pottery. I make pottery full time, and yeah, now I have a YouTube channel. I post a lot on Instagram and TikTok about my work. I make functional pieces, mainly a lot of mugs. Like this past year, 2025, I realized I love making mugs, and so I kind of am focused on that right now, but in the past I've made bowls, berry bowls, butter bells, all of that fun stuff, and I like to blend a little bit of like coastal slash nautical color schemes with more natural woodland color schemes. I'm getting a little like the cart is definitely before the horse. So let me just like give you a brief introduction to who I am. I do arts and crafts fairs in person and I also sell online. It's a new year and I want to try something different. I want to share more of like behind the scenes of what I do in like my day to day studio life. And that it's, I do a lot. It's fun. I think this will urge me to share more, which I want to do, because I feel like seeing like a really satisfying process video on Instagram or TikTok is all fun and games, but it kind of takes away from like my thought behind the piece. And so I want to share more of like the making process, the slow parts to kind of show what goes into it, but also show like my thoughts on it and my reasoning. Because I think I have a reason for things that I'm maybe not aware of. So maybe if I vocalize it, I'll understand the reason why I'm making things. That'll be cool. But I figured since it is the start of a new year, I want to share some resolutions I have for this upcoming year, 2026. So let's get started. Last year, I started making my own glazes. I followed a few recipes from books and like kind of played with those and the kiln firing schedules for those. And I want to continue that, but I want to do more research on what actually is in the glazes. So instead of following the recipe, I will continue to follow the recipe, but also research what each ingredient is, what it does, how it can change it, things like that. Um, so that's kind of like the nitty gritty of like the glaze chemistry stuff that I want to get into. And you might be thinking, Megan, look behind you. There's all these glazes. Yes, there are glazes behind me, and I have used commercial glazes in the past. I used to live with my mom and I used commercial glazes in her basement when I worked there. I used to live in an apartment and I used commercial glazes there because I just don't think glaze chemistry and apartment living go hand in hand. If you do, that's pretty impressive, but I did not. But now we live in a house, and so I have more space to do things safely. So I've been experimenting with glazes. So that's number one. For resolutions, that's number one. Number two, I would like to try more experimenting. I want to try experimenting with different shapes, different forms, different functions. And I know that all sounds very vague. I do have some ideas cooking at the moment. And that's kind of like a little, I don't even know what an Easter egg is, besides like the ones you hunt for. But I guess that's like foreshadowing to what is to come with this channel is the experimenting I want to get into. I want to have more time for like having fun and playing around with different ideas and having a good balance between like the production side of running a pottery business while also like playing around and having different ideas pop into my head and seeing those through. So I want to like make time for that. So that's resolution number 2. Resolution number 3. And this is also kind of like a broad one, but it is to be kinder to myself. I've been making for 6 years, and I feel like in the beginning of me making, I was very exploratory and I didn't think much of what other people thought of what I was making. I kind of just like honed in on an idea, worked with it, played around with it, and then continued on to the next idea. But I find from time to time when I'm making, I feel like my ideas go through a filter of like, will other people like this? Have other people done this? Like things like that, which I feel like to run a business, you have to have like a healthy dose of that. You have to understand like what other people are making, how you can fit in with, that atmosphere. And you do want to know what your customer wants in order to sell to them. But at the same time, you have to like understand what you like yourself and follow through on ideas that you really care about. And I want to do more of that. And I want to feel more confident in those ideas. And so I feel like voicing them on this platform could help with that, talking out loud to you about my ideas and what I think of my work might help me see the value in it and feel excited about the ideas I have. So, without further ado, welcome to my YouTube channel. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun things. I do odd things a lot, probably. I don't really know how to wrap this up, but that's about it. And I just wanted to introduce myself and set intentions for this channel. And I really appreciate it if you're watching already. Hello. If you do have any advice on like being kinder to yourself in the making process and balancing exploring ideas while also producing enough work to, run a business, let me know because that would be great. Yeah, share your thoughts and ideas in the comments. I'd love to see them. And I guess follow along or subscribe or like. Whatever you do for this would be great. And I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.